Naval combat in Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is one of the main cornerstones of gameplay, as well it should be. You're a pirate. What'd you expect, a friendly handshake?
Bon voyage, shitbird!
Since you'll so often be engaged in combat atop the water, and there are so many ship mechanics to contend with, we've put together a guide to help you survive your pirating lifestyle. Here are 6 tips to help you dominate the high seas in Black Flag Resynced. This seems obvious, but to truly grasp naval combat, you need to fully understand your ship's weapons and how they work, and there's a lot of info to dig into. All of your weapons, other than your auxiliary weapons, are directional, meaning where you're currently aiming automatically selects which weapon you're firing, whether that be to either side, the front, or the back of the ship. The weapon prompts on the bottom left will light up depending on which weapon you're currently preparing to fire, and pressing triangle on PlayStation or Y on Xbox while aiming will swap you to that weapon's alternate fire if there's one available, and if you have them unlocked. Most weapons will become more accurate if you aim for longer, and you'll see the firing path narrow to denote this. There are also some weapons that only fire when you're not aiming. This won't be an exhaustive breakdown of all the weapons, but let's go over some of the most important ones you'll be using early on. Your starting front weapon is your chain shot. It has a 250 meter range, which is important to know as you'll often be approaching far off enemies when you first fire it, and it's primarily used to hit enemy sails and slow ships down. It fires 4 projectiles in a very tight grouping, so while each shot does low damage, it's pretty easy to make every shot hit. Use this weapon to cripple a ship's movement as you approach, so you can unload on them with your broadside weapons as you sail past. The front weapon's secondary fire is the double shot. It flies low to the water, and will create more weak points in an enemy ship that you can target afterwards with your swivel gun. The bulk of your arsenal is fired from the side of your ship, and these broadside weapons are all unlocked early in the story. For me, it's easiest to think of these as comparisons to smaller guns and other shooters. The round shot, your standard volley of cannonballs, is like a mid-range all-purpose rifle. It has a 270 meter range, and fires a single volley of cannonballs in a wide pattern, meaning you want to aim for an enemy's hull, as a broad target means more cannonballs will hit. The heated shot is like a shorter range submachine gun. Each shot individually does less damage, but it fires many more shots than the round shot, and you can continue to adjust your aim while the weapon is firing. It also, like the round shot, has infinite ammo. The final broadside weapon is your heavy shot, and this is like a shotgun. You can't aim while firing, it'll just shoot directly to the side of your ship, but if all of the shots hit, it can do massive damage, especially after being upgraded. If an enemy tries to ram you, this is a great weapon to use after bracing to take the hit. Your rear weapons are your fire barrels, and then later you unlock shrapnel barrels. You can't really aim them by themselves as they launch out directly behind you, so you'll have to turn your ship to place them where you want. Fire barrels do a tremendous amount of damage, and can be manually detonated with your swivel gun, like remote mines. They are a double-edged sword, however, as these barrels can be devastating to run into. Look for any small red crosses in the water, and make sure to detonate them before you get too close. Enemies can drop these barrels as well, so don't follow ships from behind too closely unless you want to take major hits to your hull. If your broadside weapons can be broken down into mid-range rifles, submachine guns, and shotguns, then your mortar is certainly a sniper rifle. It does heavy damage from a distance to any ship or structure within the targeting circle, but takes quite a while to reach your target, meaning you'll have to lead them by a good bit. If you fire where they're currently located, they'll probably have moved away before the projectiles reach them. Mortars are also great for attacking enemy forts, since forts can't be moved. Mortars need to be purchased once you have the ability to upgrade your ship, and it's the first thing you should buy. They also have limited ammo, so don't fire them off unless you're in a good position to do so. Your swivel gun detonates barrels in the water, and also attacks weak points opened up by other weapons. Hold R1 or the right bumper to aim the swivel gun, and it will automatically lock onto targetable ships or barrels you're aiming nearby. Anytime you see a red cross either on a ship or in the water, you should prioritize using your swivel gun. The only exception is if one of the exploding barrels is too close to your ship, as that will heavily damage you. Make sure you spend time in your ship menu and really look at what each weapon does, the ranges at which they're most effective, and how much damage they do. This breakdown wasn't exhaustive, as you'll get some more weapons much later in the story, so keep popping back into the ship menu to increase your understanding of your arsenal. Ships are slow, and so are their weapons, so understanding distance is one of your most powerful tools. Thankfully, Resynced can provide the info you need if you know where to look for it. First, you should begin naval battles by pulling out your Spyglass and marking your primary target. Not only will the Spyglass let you know what resources that ship is carrying, and how dangerous they are by star rating, it will also let you set a custom marker that automatically adjusts as you move, either directly over the ship or on the compass at the top of the screen. If you understand the range of your weapons, all of which can be found in your ship's menu on the pause screen, you can plan ahead and make much better decisions based on your distance from your enemy.
Ease the mains off the wind!
Party now, my trumps! I'd not haze you!
Boarding downed ships is essential. Not only will it grant you greater resources than just sinking a ship with your weapons, it freezes the battle around you, meaning you get a chance to take down an enemy permanently, and even repair your ship while surrounded by enemy vessels. It will also replenish your crew, and give you the option to add a ship to your fleet, lower your wanted level, or open a lockbox with valuable treasure if the ship is big enough to carry one. Basically, other than being really low on crew members, as a few can die during boarding, or just not wanting to bother spending time doing it, there's never really a reason to not board an enemy ship. It's all positives. A few boarding tips. Don't instantly swing over to the enemy ship after initiating boarding. Your crew will pull you in close so you don't have to jump into the water to close the distance, and you can use this time to get on the swivel guns and blast away at a few unlucky exposed pirates or powder barrels. By the time your ships are side by side, you'll have picked a few off, and you'll probably need to just kick a few enemies into their ship's railing to unlock an instant takedown. You could also climb up their mast and cut down their flag to take a big chunk out of their morale, but make sure you take out their marksman first, as he's likely to do a ton of damage to you or even knock you off the platform. Your weapons will be useless in naval combat if you're not good at controlling your ship. The faster you're going, the harder it is to turn. If you want to turn more sharply, you need to slow down or stop completely. Not looking ahead and running into a wall so other ships or forts can fire on you freely is a death sentence. Slowing down is also important for quickly getting around downed ships to position yourself to board. You need to pay attention to the wind as well, especially in tight quarters. If you're experiencing a crosswind, meaning it's blowing from left to right or right to left across your ship, having your travel sails fully open may blow you well off course, or even smash you into rocks. And if you're sailing during a storm, you can't use your travel sails at all.
I'm your passage out of here. Quickly.
New to Black Flag Resynced are the 3 naval officers other than Adewale, 2 of whom can be unlocked fairly early on. Lucy Baldwin and Padre. Lucy unlocks the Perfect Brace ability, essentially a perfect parry for your ship. This basically negates damage completely if timed well. You'll hear a metal clanging sound. And the window for it is pretty generous, so keep an eye out for when projectiles are just about to hit you to save a ton of damage being inflicted. Padre teaches you a ramming ability if you have a good angle on your enemies and want to bring a fight in closer. Completing the main story quest This Old Cove will unlock the missions to find Lucy and the Padre, and they should be completed as soon as you're able.
Oh, she'll fit right in.
We're bleeding, bastards! We'll have to deal with this skirmish fast.
Sometimes, whether it be through story reasons or you just get caught unawares, you'll need to fight off a host of ships from a less than ideal position. But if you have your choice, you should always enter an engagement with a solid battle plan. A good way to begin a naval fight is to target the enemy sails with your chain shot, as that will slow them way down, making them an easier target and keeping yourself from getting outflanked. If you're following them from behind, do not stay behind them, as you'll surely run into their fire barrels. Instead, once you've slowed them down, start drifting to either side of them and prepare your broadside weapons so you'll be ready to fire as soon as you're in range. You'll have crippled their movement and earned free damage before they ever had a chance to fire on you. Also keep in mind that while you need to have an enemy to the side of you in order to fire your broadside weapons, that also means you're presenting the biggest target. When you're not actively firing, Turn the front of your ship slightly so they can't get all of their cannonballs to hit you at once. A big target is a dead target.
I think I'll keep her.
All hands aft, lads! We're taking this one home!
If you need more help to dominate the high seas, make sure you check out our video on the best ship upgrades to get first. And for everything else gaming, keep it right here on IGN.